Thank you for joining me. So a group called Campus Reform has gone out on this Sunday, one day before President Trump is scheduled to release the name of his choice to fill the Supreme Court seat that is now being vacated by retiring Supreme Court Judge Anthony Kennedy. They went out to NYU to interview students and asked them what they thought of the pick. Now, the fact that these students didn't realize that the pick has not been made yet shows just, in a sense, how ignorant they are, and that's obvious on the face of it. But the main thing that's interesting to me is the fact that they were referring to the nominee as racist, as a white supremacist, and this kind of ugly smear, these sort of nasty charges against someone who we don't even know who it is yet, is a very interesting insight into the condition of our society as it stands today. I mean, I actually do blame the media for their drumbeat of fake news about President Trump and their insistence on branding him as having something against black men and women, and thus all of those of us who voted for President Trump, myself included, as having something against black men and women, to the point where everything that he says is parsed in a way that it is made to look like that. And the result has been the inflaming of the population. It's very irresponsible. You have people who are so angry and so whipped up now against President Trump that they can't even think straight if you even mention his name. I mean, this is, I'm old enough to remember the hate campaign against Ronald Reagan, even old enough to remember Nixon, and certainly the hate campaign against George W. Bush. And those things were vicious and ugly and nasty. And certainly they were distorted and they twisted people all out of shape. But I've never seen a more vicious and more destructive campaign than the one going on right now, to the point where everything that President Trump does must mean that it's against black men and women or some other designated group. And it's a complete lie. It has to be condemned by responsible people. And furthermore, I would turn the tables and say, who really does have something against minorities? I mean, President Trump's record on it, by the way, is quite good in terms of employing people. There was just a poll that came out recently which indicates that he has jumped in support amongst Hispanics. Black men, apparently it's up to like 19-20%, unprecedented and growing. And so the left and their demented hate for President Trump has gone to such extremes that they're just hysterical. I mean, they're just attacking him to the point where it's not even, they're attacking a straw dog here. There's somebody who doesn't even exist yet. He hasn't even named his nominee. And it's particularly odious because it affects younger people who are still innocent and who still have not yet formed their opinions. They'll go to any measure to stop Trump. Believe me, the people that are involved in this dialectic, people who are witting and conscious, they know that President Trump has nothing against anyone based on their ethnic group or their race, or any other category. They are trying to get Trump because they hate what he's doing. He is dismantling the socialistic, authoritarian behemoth that they have been building for almost a century. And that's what what's making them go apoplectic. And they're willing to use innocent, impressionable younger people in this fight. So we should reject these vicious charges, obviously. But furthermore, we should counter them and stand up to them and talk about who really is racist anyway, who really has supported policies that have hurt minorities in this country. I'll save it for another day, but suffice it to say, I would argue it's been the left. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody.